The graduation is over now, so I don't know if all of y'all are interested to hear some serious content. But I can't change my script right now, so I'll go on. Um, the yesterday we heard Smriti talk about dreams and our purposes, and one thing that stuck with me was when Smriti was saying the purpose of life comes from our stories. And to know a lot of my stories, I'll have to go into a chronological order as a historical event that we learned in social science, and probably go back to a time when I was 10. It was the same time, perhaps when I was 10, and the class that I was teaching it at Ascent, I want to compare with the children that I saw. So when I was 10, my grandfather passed away, and in the next 2 days, I had to give my exams. I saw a lot of grief and loss around me, and with little or no sense, I gave my exams. I was still absorbing what was happening. Going back to Ascent, we were in school one day. Children had to create a lot of things with clay and emote their emotions. And one of the child spoke about that her grandmother had passed away a year ago and she was feeling sad. So I could connect with the child how I felt when I was 10. In the pandemic too, there was children were going through grief and loss, not knowing what to do. And for me, education was much beyond academics, and this was the purpose through which I had joined IAAT. That is one part of my journey. Then, when I was 15, I was so not confident that I decided to take a gap year. Back then, the word gap year nobody knew. Now I think I have the vocabulary that I can call it a gap year. I was dealing with anxiety and stress, and of course, these words are something that we know now. So I could again relate with the pressure I was going through, or I had put on myself that I have to do well. I hated math. I hated science. I would get very nervous. I would cry. So the Deepti that you see now is very different from the Deepti that has gone through a lot of exploration, a lot of unraveling and journeys. When I became a journalist, I had a boss who was really mean, and she said that I couldn't write. The Deepti that you see now writes articles in Commune, does a lot of sharing, is opened up and gathered the courage to speak on the stage. So, everybody has a backstory that we don't know of. So, when we were deciding as a batch also that what should we be wearing, I didn't want to choose a color, not because I wanted to wear what I wanted to wear, and I chatted just with one auntie about it. And in a couple of sessions, I have spoken about it, but I have not gone into a lot of details because I decided that I didn't want to be a victim. I didn't want to join the course with that mindset. That story was gone and done by. So I have endometriosis and I have gone through acute pain of being on bed and not being able to move. I was being tested for cancer at one point in time. And again, maybe because of the stress and juggling so many things, I had two jobs. I wasn't able to go. So, Endo got back. Till yesterday, I was not sure if I'll be able to give my SLC, if I'll be able to wear a sari. So I was crying, and all of that was happening. So that is some part of my backstory as well. Okay, enough of the so many things that I'm speaking. And coming back to why I wanted to join IAT. And again, I have heard this quote in a lot of SLCs, but this is how I connect to it. कहते हैं अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. I was in Puttaparthi in a spiritual place, going through my own exploration, and I was actually Googling of connecting child rights, education, social sector, writing, and on some Facebook forum, I had seen somebody post that I connect with social. My heart is in NGO in the NGO sector, but I'm also interested in teaching. I opened a resume, and in her resume, it was written that pursued a course in learning and teaching. Even the name I am a teacher wasn't there. And then I was like, what is this learning and teaching? I didn't know something like that existed. I Googled, and the first thing that came up was I am a teacher. So perhaps Vidya, the SEO on the website, is doing good. And that is how I got to know about I am a teacher. I was in Puttaparthi, so I could have joined Delhi or Bombay. Of course, I knew as a journalist, I had been to ASB, I had been to Ascent, and I had interviewed the principals and met them. So I knew that these schools were privileged and premium schools, which are not easy access otherwise to everybody else. So I called and I speak to Neha Lohar first, and she said that no, you can't. It's a very rigorous course. You can't do it with your job. But I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it next year. And but I couldn't sleep the night. I had known some of the people via other people, or I had known some of the trustees, or I was following the. I mean, known as in I was following some of their journeys. I looked up, I googled. The course seemed very comprehensive, and I spoke to Priyanka again, and she followed up with me and how. And I think a day before, I was one of the last batches in, last person who actually, went ahead and enrolled for the course. It was in May end, I believe, or mid-May or May end. And I was like, fine, I'll go ahead. And I'm very grateful to my people at work who gave me that space to do IAT along as such a rigorous course. So that is how I began my journey. And so many things happened. And, when I was confused, theory gave me those answers. When once Shagun just randomly said that it's nothing personal, you don't have to take it. And she was not even, telling it to me. She was just talking in the context of classroom environment. And I got my answer that, okay, maybe my CT is a certain way and it is nothing personal. And in again a CRE classroom, I was almost in tears once because there were only three, four children and they were not listening to me. And I felt like I didn't know what to do. Over there, again, Shagun spoke about, there was an Edutopia blog link which spoke about control. And I realized that how much of control I wanted and how much of power I wanted. And I am a reflective person otherwise too, but that, deeper reflections really helped. And from there on, I decided that I will only focus on building relationship with children. In fact, at BIS, when they interviewed me, I said the same thing. And my focus was only building relationship with the children of what is the dog's name, or what how their weekend went, or what kind of clothes they wear, what kind of books they wanted to read. It broke the barrier, and that's when it was always relationships over curriculum uh, for me. And from there on, I could see that I was much more candid in the classrooms. In 2015, I was traveling. I went to Hubli, Dharwad in school, Kalkeri Sangeet Vidyalaya. And it's an NGO-run school, and when you're working with the NGOs, you are actually prepared for hearing a sob story. That is something, a drawback of working sometimes in the development sector. But when I asked this girl, and I think now when I look back, I shouldn't have asked this question. And I said, "बड़े होके क्या बनना चाहते हो?" And she replied to me in English. She was 12-year-old. Her name was Tejaswini, and she said that I want to change the world. And I was taken aback. She could play a violin. She knew how to play the guitar. She knew French, and she was talking in English. And this is a 12-year-old girl who who had a nurturing and caring environment around her. And something started to happen. Of course, there was not more clarity, but with time, I got experiences happened in life and I got clarity. Before joining IAT, we saw the documentary Children Full of Life. And I had written down quotes from the documentary or the movie what I saw. And one of the things that stood for me was good teachers connect theory with life. Later, I got to know that, okay, there's a term for it called higher order thinking. And then there was another quote, we are all vulnerable, we must admit it and go on. And the concept of notebook letters in Children Full of Life was something that resonated with me a lot. Again, I would go back to an MPL session which spoke about purpose, joy, and desire. And that time I had shared that, earlier I was operating from a sense of proving something to somebody, but eventually I realized that when I leave that barrier and I just do things because I want to do them, is where true purpose and joy can be found. But in all of this, I was going through a deep self doubt within me. Um, in December, I had before Christmas break, I knew that I had a job. When I went for an interview in JBCN, the PYP coordinator asked me that, and looking at my resume, that you've achieved a lot of things, and rightly so. Why do you want to come into school and teaching and you have to start from basic? And that's when I realized that others around me were looking at me in a certain way, but I was going through a lot of self doubt. Or, I was very vocal sometimes about feeling lost or not being able to cope. But I would always get messages from people that, you know, don't worry, you'll go through. We really, how you share, what you experience. It's really nice. But I wasn't very confident until I stepped into a school and I was very jittery. How will that work out? How will that pan out? I was crying and So, but now I feel that I am confident. I know I can, dream big. The sky is the limit. Uh, and it has taken a journey, it has taken those 10 months of reflection after reflection, churning after churning, thinking after thinking. So I'm really, really grateful. And, the community at one level, it is a physical community, but there is a community I found within myself, a belonging within myself. If I was telling this to somebody else, they would be like, what is she even saying? What is this community with itself? But I think we all would kind of relate to what I'm saying. And as Sadananji had shared, that spirituality is self-knowledge. That is what I have found. I found the satsang, I've found the swadhyay and the sadhana here. I realized that I'm not a victim of my circumstances and I have a choice. And, you know, I have one quote to share, which was about classroom climate, and that's when I realized that I have such a big responsibility, and it gave me goosebumps when we had read this. I have come to a frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element in the classroom. It's my personal approach that creates the climate. It's my daily mood that makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess a tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or humor, hurt or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis is escalated or de escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. And at the end, I would just like to say that Sadanand had shared that what is the name of the new story that you'll be going into, that you'll be living? I thought about it, I pondered about it a lot. And I was like, what is that story? I'd leave you all with that thought too. But for me, that new story is love and healing that I want to bring into classrooms and myself.
Thank you, Deepthi. Those were wonderful words. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
May I now invite Prerna to please come up on the stage and share a few thoughts with us?
A big round of applause for Miss Prerna.
So I'm very much a part of you guys. So I don't want to feel like a guest and I'm not. So I'm not going to behave like one. But it's very difficult to say anything right now in front of all the deep reflections and sharings that you all have, that you all have shared, that you all have spoken. I'm really moved. One by what your journey has been online, Bombay, Delhi, across seas. I think somebody was in Dubai as well. So it's very very touching. It's very fulfilling, honestly. And I think that if I go back, I mean, all flashes are coming in my mind right now. I think when I'm looking at you and I'm with Smriti, Tab, Samira, Rupavandari, everyone, Shagun, Jayanti, my Bombay folks, and just so many memories and so many things are coming to my mind about IAAT. And this was July 2014 when I came to Heritage, I was in Bangalore, and I came to Heritage, and I remember the exact room where I came. And I just came to say hi to Manat and Smriti, and I peeped in the room, and I said hi, and I was about to leave when they called me inside. And they called me inside, and that was Manat's room over there, and he called me inside, and then he told Smriti, "Ban gayi tumhari TV." Literally, that's the day when we started thinking about IAT. And then I went to Moscow for some time, and it was so interesting that the first thing that we started working on IAT teacher was when Smriti and I were away from each other. Where I was in Moscow and she was in Gurgaon, and she would wait for, because I was 2-3 hours ahead of Delhi. She would wait for 10 o'clock to happen so that she can call me and we can talk about IAT and think about what we want to do together. From the logo to the website with tabs, joining just immediately after that, and I came back, and all three of us, I still remember those days when we're sitting and thinking about this dream that IAT is. And 7 years from there, with 4 years, 5 years into Bombay, 4 years into Bombay, and 7 years into Gurgaon. It's just really, I'm just telling you this in all honesty, it's so fulfilling to be here right now. I can't tell you how much rich I'm feeling being in this room with all of you, with your journeys. And please remember that any moment, any time, any moment that you're spending reflecting, pausing, thinking about yourself, working on yourself, you're contributing to a child's life. Because what you will be is what children will learn and grow to be. So it's just so enriching to be in this room with you. I'm so happy that you've done this. It's not easy to do IAT now that you guys know that it's not. ये आपको इन्फो सेशन में कोई नहीं बताता या बताता भी तो आपको रजिस्टर नहीं होता है कि इट्स नॉट इजी पर आपको साल गुजारने के बाद पता चलता है कि अच्छा ऐसा होता है टीचर बनना so it's really a pleasure and I congratulate all of you for choosing to be a teacher. It's not easy and it won't be easy. Even right now when I am in school and there's so many things that I'm doing. Today, in fact, I went to grade 3 and Radhika, I missed you over there. I was working with your kids and I was thinking, how does Radhika do it? But today I went to grade 3 and that was the best moment of my life. That, today I was sitting just next to the kids on the table and working with them on their stories. They were writing a story and I was working on that. It's so fulfilling and it's just so joyful. So it's going to be hard also from here. Wherever you will go, you'll go to new places. It will be different than IAT. You might be seeking कि हमें IAT जैसा culture मिले, हमें IAT जैसी community मिले. हो सकता है मिले, हो सकता है नहीं मिले. लेकिन you have to be there for each other, and you have to keep that fire and that community, like you said, alive inside of you. And you will sail through, but just remember that it's all for the children. And if you have that intent in mind, nothing can stop you from doing anything. So just keep the fire alive. And really proud of all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prerna. Those were very encouraging words. A beautiful quote by Victor Hugo. Music expresses that which cannot be said and on which it is to be impossible to be silent.
Stage is all yours. Sapna, Navya, Ritu, and Nupur. A big round of applause for them. Oh, sorry, apologies for the mistake. Sapna, Navya, Sugandha, and Nupur. And Ritu.
दोस्तों हमारे लिए IAT के दोस्तों IAT में आज हमारी आखिरी दिन है
और आने वाली जिंदगी के लिए सब में कुछ न कुछ सोच रखा है। और आज बार बार हम सबके मन में एक ही ख्याल आ रहा है। Each one of you who holds a special place in our hearts. होता है जिंदगी के साथ अचानक ये मन किसी के जाने के बाद करे फिर उसकी याद छोटी छोटी सी बात न जाने क्यों। दोस्तों, जितना ये सफर सीखने सिखाने का रहा उतना ही ये हमारी दोस्ती की भी कहानी रही। तो ये गाना दोस्ती के नाम। यारो दोस्ती बड़ी ही हसीन है, ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है, कोई तो हो राज़दार, बेगरज तेरा हो यार, कोई तो हो राज़दार। तेरी हर एक बुराई पे डांटे वो दोस्त, गम की हो तो साया बने तेरा हो दोस्त, नाचे भी वो तेरी खुशी में, अरे यारो दोस्ती बड़ी हसीन है, ये ना हो तो क्या फिर बोलो ये जिंदगी है, कोई तो हो राज़दार, बेगरज तेरा हो यार, कोई तो हो राज़दार। मेरी सांसों में रहना दोस्ती होती है रिश्तों का कहना, इसलिए दोस्त कभी अलविदा ना कहना। चलते चलते धीरे धीरे याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। चलते चलते धीरे धीरे याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। रोते हंसते बस यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना। A big round of applause for our beautiful singers. Wow, क्या बात है! Beautiful memories are like old friends. They may not always be on your mind, but they are forever in your heart.
I now welcome Madhura, Gulnaz, and Priyanka to share with us a small video treat.
Everyone, and a very warm welcome to the PGDLT batch of 2021-22. All the entire IAAT faculty and staff are here, and just very excited to meet all of you, to greet you today, and to spend the next 10 minutes with you.
It's going to be messy. And it's going to be messy like this crumpled paper. So going through that and enjoying it as well. And seeing it as a gift, the messy process. Right? Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. But true to the IAAT so far, we cannot begin anything unless we reflect a little bit. That's right. So as usual, we are going to begin with a little bit of reflection. For a lot of aspirations, either all of you stay with us for next 4 years and don't go anywhere to achieve all of this, or put your 150% so that we are able to achieve some part of it in this 10 months. So share some subjective observations you have made about 5 of the current answers. It's called Bloom's taxonomy.
I think like multiplication plus minus.
It's not humor. What is the thing that you have in class? Because that's the easiest question. It's love. It's all about love. चलो अगर किसी के जाने का मन नहीं हो रहा for helping me belong and believe in myself, for guiding me in my journey, for enabling a journey that's personal yet so universal. For helping us embrace the future we know. For helping me see for giving power to our wings, for giving us courage and confidence.
For being amazing in the car.
Helping me believe in myself, for helping me share my inhibitions, for giving me courage, for all the encouragement and confidence, for making me believe in myself, for your guidance, support, and encouragement, for opening the door of purpose, giving me the confidence to believe in myself. For giving us reflection, for giving such an amazing community, for inspiring us and empowering us with tools to create change in the field of education. Thank you for the love and support. A better version of myself. Thank you. Wow, that was amazing.
May I now call upon faculty members. I would like to start with the Paswini ma'am. Please come and say a few words. Okay, can I have Jayanti to please come and share a few words with us?
In fact, we request all of our faculty members to come on stage and share a few words with us. Tapaswini ma'am, Samira ma'am, Rupa Manjari ma'am, Narayan sir, Shagun, Smriti.
Um, Sorry? Show starter, show stopper, show breaker. टमाटर तो बहुत मजेदार है, अब और क्या है तो पसीना. Um, Thank you guys, Madhura and Golraj and the rest of you. I must say this has been one of the most perceptive, insightful, and Shagun, the observations are like too good. So whatever they've been observing has been so good. Every single point that you guys have brought on. Thank you for all the feedback that you gave us. We are definitely going to look at all the things that you brought out. Thank you for being the kind of people you were in the class and for making our journey also, at least my journey, enriching my journey. I didn't think I could ever make a connect with a bunch of people I've never seen just online. And I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not very good with online stuff, right? You all helped me with so many of the transitions during the classes. So thank you. I just have a big thank you. I love you too. I want to say that. I love you, I love my mother, and I love my cat.
Thank you, Jayanti. We love you. Well, may I request, who will it be? Samira ma'am.
I thought you heard enough of us through the year. No?
Never enough of our teachers.
Okay, so let me confess, you guys gave me some very hard time. Yeah, because I would ask a question and there would be pin drop silence. And I was like, मतलब मैं कुछ गब्बर टाइप की हूँ क्या? Yeah, but then when the responses started pouring in, oh my God, and when I saw your assignments, oh my God. So, yeah, thank you so much for all the work that you have put in. You worked really hard. And I'm amazed by the potential that I see in each one of you. And I would love it if once in a while you take a moment to come back to us and share what you're doing and how you're doing. And that would really make us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samira ma'am. May I request Rupa Manjari ma'am to say a few words?
I also thought that I've given enough gyan and bored you all to death in the classes. So I must say that this year was one of the most what should I say, fulfilling year for me as a teacher. I am a teacher. I mean, not that the earlier batches were, I didn't enjoy, but this year somehow, even I was teaching the Pi 2's course for the first time, so I kind of did it whatever I could. I thought was the best thing to do. Online again has never been my forte, and all of you know that. I would forever forget to switch on the record button. And finally, I would tell Apurva was my, like my North Star. I'll say, Apurva, please remind me. And this happened till the last class. Okay. But yeah, there would be, I would say that it was a huge class. All of you in one class, that to online, there would always be a barrier. And I used to think, Kaka, you're talking about so many other things. And we're in this beautiful school. Of course, it's a beautiful school with beautiful classrooms and a pleasure to watch when you walk into the classrooms. Everything was there, what you would ideally imagine. And here I'm talking about caste and gender and all kinds of, uh, very not so pleasant things. And sometimes there would be, there were a lot of interesting discussions, but many of you would be quiet in the class. But when I got the assignments, I was completely blown away by the responses, the authentic, genuine, the very, very genuine sharings in your reflections that came through in the assignments. I was absolutely blown away. And that really kind of made me feel very satisfied. Acha, chalo, kuch to, I have kind of been, it was there in you. I'm not saying that it's not there in you, it has come out. And you've been reflecting, and that's, I think, gave me a lot of satisfaction. With some of you, I've had a lot of discussions over email, and some of you even secretly would tell me that, I don't want to mention the names here, that I've written this much, what do I do when you're given a word limit? And I will say, okay, chalo, theek hai. But keep it a secret, don't tell others. So, and also through the storytelling sessions, and then finally in the toss classes, it was a very small group. I've been trying to do, and I've told all of us here in the faculty, they know that I've been trying to make the students do a few things on their own, and I have kind of not been able to achieve. This is maybe something I was not doing the right way, and we've been discussing in the reviews, and then something struck me, and then I kind of changed a little bit, and it worked wonders for with all of you. You actually produced what I've been dying to see the students do. The PPTs that you produced which was your own way of doing it. I must say, all of you must. I will share the entire folder with the rest of the faculty here. It's a treasure house of, resources for everybody to see and use. So congratulations for that, and I'm very happy, and it is really, really very rewarding for me. So thank you for being there and for giving us that sense of satisfaction. And all the best to all of you. To the others who didn't do the toss, of course, they've done brilliantly in the other part of the course also. Wishing all of you a wonderful journey ahead, and all our love and blessings will always remain with you.
Thank you so much, Rupa Manjari ma'am. Now, may I request Rachna to kindly say a few words?
I just joined the team in Jan, and it's been overwhelming for me to see its culmination, um, the relationships, the insights, the growth, the development, everything that you all have gone through this journey together, holding each other's hands so strongly. And I have to admit, I'm excited to embark on this journey next year, with the next batch. But I also am going to hold on to these moments, especially in the last 2 days, to create this and much more for the next batch. With the support of all these people, and it's really shown me what human life is capable of, right? We would think it's limited in terms of COVID, the pandemic that it created, and we were limited by distance and we were limited by physical contact. But it's once again, revealed to me that potential is so vast and yet so untapped. So thank you so much for letting me be part of your journey and your celebration, and congratulations to each one of you.
Thank you, Rachna. Welcome to the IAAT community.
Can I call upon Smriti to please share a few words?
Last 2 days. I just want to say that it's been a beautiful, beautiful journey with all of you here. And all my love, my good wishes, my blessings with all of you. Love you so much.
Thank you, Smriti. Now, may I request Tapaswini ma'am to say a few words?
Now I'm speaking. It's actually been a very, very emotional moment last couple of days. Emotionally, because we were all correcting your assignments. So that was one level. So it had all different kinds of emotions coming up. And I've been listening to all faculty members, what's happening behind the scenes. These are all behind the scenes, right? And the report card is in front. Jokes apart, I think while I was listening to all your sharing, it really humbled me a lot. In the sense that I was reminded of this learn. I think there is a lot of resilience, determination, and commitment to make it happen. Yes, we had online. Yes, there were challenges at home. But I think to just make things happen is what each one of you did. And as I was listening to what you said, that the way you came to I am a teacher, what happened over here, one of the things that I would say is that IAAT as a community provided a sort of a holding environment. It held you together, held all of us together. It was not anything individually. Yes, individually, at the same time, collective. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done it. Even faculty, as faculty, we wouldn't have been able to do it. And what you also spoke about was building character. So there were so many things that you said about building character in yourself when you were here. My aspiration is that when you move on and you are taking up different responsibilities, create that same holding environment for your children and building their character. That is how probably you will evolve and emerge and move to the next level. Thanks all of you. Thanks for being together and keep going. All the best.
Thank you so much, Tapaswini ma'am. We want to show our faculty members that we love them so much and we truly appreciate them. Please accept this small token of appreciation from the batch of 2020, 21, 22. A big round of applause. A big round of applause for our faculty members for teaching us so much in this year and for equipping us with the knowledge to become wonderful teachers and be a beautiful part of this beautiful journey. Well, we have all been told that Jayanti has to live up to her word and sing for us in her melodious voice. Jayanti, may I request you to kindly come up on stage and sing for us. Yeah. Sing along with me. I think this is something that you all would know. It begins with a doha by Kabir. लाली मेरे लाल की लाली मेरे लाल की कबीर कहते हैं लाली मेरे लाल की जित देखूं उत लाल लाली देखन मैं गई मैं भी हो गई लाल लाली मेरे लाल की जित देखूं उत लाल
रखियो भला झूलेलाल हो लाल मेरी भक्त रखियो भला झूलेलाल सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सती शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर ओ लाल मेरी चार चराग तेरा वर्ण हमेशा चार चराग तेरा चार चराग तेरा वर्ण हमेशा चार चराग तेरा चार चार चराग तेरा वर्ण हमेशा चार चराग तेरा वर्ण हमेशा चार चराग तेरा वर्ण हमेशा पंजवा में बारण पंजवा में बारण आई बाला झूलेलाल हो पंजवा में बारण आई बाला झूलेलाल सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सती शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम खुंदे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर ओ लाल मेरी हिंद सिंध पीढ़ा तेरी नौबत आए हिंद सिंध पीढ़ा तेरी नौबत आए नामे अली नामे नामे अली बेटा पार करो झूलेलाल सिंधड़ी दा सेवन दा सती शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम बंदे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दम बंदे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सती शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर सती शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर मस्त कलंदर मस्त कलंदर मस्त कलंदर मस्त कलंदर
Thank you, Jayati. Finally, we get to hear your beautiful voice. Thank you. Commune has helped us express ourselves and brought us together as a community. The thoughts penned down by all of us were profound and are deepest feelings. Our editors, Svetna and Navya, worked tirelessly towards making it a success. We would now like to welcome them on stage with a big round of applause. Navya and Svetna, please come and share.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Adya. Oh my God. We look at all of you. This reminds us of the MPL session we had. We were talking about communities. And so we spoke about true community. Spoke about how we all feel at that point in time. Today, when I see each one of you, at least for me, I can say this is my true community.
Let's give it up for ourselves. We have come so far. We have made it. This is the community we had inspired for, and we have achieved it. As Sagananji said, let's not forget meeting each other. Let's not forget the satsang. Let's keep meeting because only then we can keep the fire in our bellies alive and can inspire each other.
Sweet now. On this note, I request all of you to look towards your left, look towards your right, give each other a hug, a high five. This is our community. Yes.
a readout from the commune we had, conceptualized months ago, and today we have published it, and there's a copy here we are very proud of. It's a new dawn, but the journey continues. 10 months back, as we started working on commune, we were not aware it would redefine our horizons and perspectives the way it did. We all lead our lives in our own ecosystems, seeing, feeling, and learning from things around us and developing an emotional quotient or a response to almost everything except understanding. Well, in some cases, mostly, and in some cases, little less. The way the same things could mean something so different to others.
It's said that when we speak, we say things that we already know. But when we listen, we invariably learn something new. Commune gave us much more. It gave us the opportunity to read the experiences shared by students, fellow IATians, and teachers alike. It taught us to see things from different perspectives and forced us to put our preconceived notions, biases, and prejudices aside. This was absolutely essential to not alter the true emotions of the writer while proofreading these pieces to weed out any unintentional hurtful sentiments or expressions. To be honest, it was not easy. It was not easy at all. Some of our biases and notions are so deep rooted that accepting a different version of our own truth or our own facts appears to be very difficult task. But then we are teachers, aren't we?
We worked on accentuating all the empathy we had, wore different hats each time we read something, emptied our minds a lot of clutter from the past, and we hope we did justice to what we set out to achieve as a community. We have all had dialogues about our vision for commune on different occasions. Each conversation has been followed by such reflective articles and poems that it has been a heartwarming experience to sit back and read it.
On this note, we invite our auntie, Madhura, to read a poem from Commune. Thank you, Madhura, for doing this for us. Long press.
This poem is called Cherish the Unknown by Kanchan Lal. Growing up, I had many questions. Some got answered, many ignored. Don't ask questions that have no answers, I was very clearly told. Don't question to ponder, don't ever question to disagree. Ask not questions that will digress. Don't set any such questions from your mind free. All questions ought to have an answer, and that's all there was to know. Slowly and slowly, as years crawled, I accepted there's only so far that I can go. By 20s, we had to know it all. Don't question, second guess, ponder, or hesitate. Choose your life mate, choose your career, choose your city and your fate. And stick to them for the rest of your life. Don't ask or debate. Such life changing decisions we so easily made. Life went on and on it went. Why am I here? What shall I do? Whom should I hear? Why these privileges for me? Am I happy? Am I truly free? Why do I get angry? What more shall I be? Am I a liberal? Am I a racist? Am I a feminist? Who gives me these tags and why me? What brings me joy? What makes me glow? What is my purpose? And how do I overcome fear? And how do I stop these questions galore? The buzzing of questions never ever stopped. The more I suppressed, the more they popped. Until one day, and many days since, I discovered the intent of questioning was not to find, but really to think. And when I was convinced that I was surrounded by friends and souls alike, I stood there listening, really listening, with my arms wide, and realized why being loved is amazing, but being understood just so profound. And never have I found so much joy than in the questions that have unexplored. So here's the one enduring understanding I take with me. Keep the questions alive, keep the questions going. Keep them rumbling, roaring, blowing, and pouring. Spend time with them, spend time with you, and bring these questions forth in whatever you do. May your questions be your guiding light. May they give you peace, purpose, and joy. And more important, may you find the listening ear and hearts who hear your questions and in your life play their part. Because these questions are what give us purpose to jump from our beds and find a path. The more perturbed you are, and the more you will explore and try to find the answers that help you know yourself that's much more. Bye, Kanchan.
Thank you, Madhura. Thank you, Kanchan. That was very reflective.
We would like to take this opportunity to present our commune. I mean, you all, of course, have the soft copies, but we've made a coffee table book for each of our campuses, and we would really like to present this to all our schools. Yeah, we would like to invite Neha, Sumin, Vidya, and Kuldeep, and two artists. Anyone who could volunteer to present this? Yes. We invite Shagun, Jayanti, and Rachna to accept the commune on behalf of IAAT, the Bombay chapter. Thank you. We invite Prerna to, yeah, thank you so much, Prerna. You've always been there for us every single step. Yeah, we present our commune and we promise to keep sending you more editions. We invite Smriti, Tapaswini, Narayana, Rupamanjari, Samira ma'am. Yeah. Okay. ठीक है. We'll do that. Thank you so much. This is so the next batch would know the commendable work we've done. And we truly reflected. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you to Sameem, Vidya, Kuldeep, Neha for coming over. Saranya and Swarna, thank you so much for all the help. Our endeavor from now must be to keep the commune going. As we begin our new journeys and different roles, this platform will give us opportunities to learn from each other's journeys, giving us strength and a sense of belongingness always.
In short, what we're trying to say is, picture abhi baki hai mere dost. All the follow-up messages on WhatsApps, on emails are going to come. We're still going to spam you. You're still going to send us all your pieces. Don't block us on your WhatsApp. Signing off from Team Commune, Navya and Swetna. Thank you.
थैंक यू नव्या, थैंक यू सपना. जब विदाई की घड़ी आती है दिल की मुश्किलें बढ़ जाती हैं। आप हमारे दिल के पास रहेंगे, हम आपको हमेशा याद रहेंगे।
As we bid goodbye to all of you, we wish you a beautiful journey ahead. With this, we are at the end of our graduation ceremony. I request everyone to come on the stage so that we can have a group picture, followed by cake, after which we will be cutting a cake to celebrate this day. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day. After this song,
I can see it in your eyes that you are restless. Time has come for you to leave. It's so hard to let you go, but in this life I know you have to be who you were made to be. As you step out on the road, I say a prayer. So that in my heart, you always will be there. This is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again. So let your life begin. 'Cause this is not
I request
goodbye.
everyone to come on the
It's
stage.
just I love you to take with you till you're home again. Stirring in your soul has left you wondering, should you stay or turn around? Well, just remember that your dreams, they are a promise, that you were made to change the world. So don't let fear stop
May we
you
request
now.
Wendy, Prerna, everybody to please come on stage. You've all been a part of our journey.
I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin. 'Cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home again. I know the brightest star above was created by the one who loved more than we'll ever know. To guide you when you're lost. What started as a still small voice is raising now, and your only choice is to follow who you are. So follow who you are, 'cause this is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again. This is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin. 'Cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home. It is I love you to take with you until you're home. It is I love you to take with you until you're home again.
Please, God, please. Master, तुम ऐसे जैसा तुम जाओ ज्यादा टॉपिंग वाला. भगवान, क्यों? हमेशा इतना ही क्यों आता
tonight in Yonda. It's loaded with 2x toppings. More to enjoy. What would you say if I can have you back right here for one day? I'd be ready to see that smile on your face. What would it take for you to stay? Just say we can take a few years and it'll be fast. Like about things that I ain't forgot. Yeah. Would you tell me all about them streets of gold? Would you tell me that you know you'll find it? Cause anyone has the number to hear what I feel right now. I just can't help it. I haven't heard your voice in a while. I know it makes sense just to let my name if you know for me, if you can hear me. I need to make sure you're